It's Throwback Thursday, and here's a popular video I did 2 years ago on how I use BTI to safely and effectively control fungus gnats in my indoor worm bins.
Well, hello everyone, it's Sandra, and I thought I would do a quick video to show how I deal with fungus gnats, which seem to become a problem when I also started seedlings in the house, and my indoor worm bins sort of went along for the ride, and I noticed more fungus gnats crawling on the surface and then trying to fly away. And I use the yellow sticky paper and things like that, but I also had another worm farmer recommend these Mosquito Bits, which I think are made from the same thing as those Mosquito Dunks that you hear, but these things are granules, and it says quick kill mosquitoes, but there are fungus gnat instructions on the back as well. So what I do with them is I don't just do like one treatment and get it over with. I use my pump sprayer and I put some of the Mosquito Bits in the pump sprayer, so whenever I am wetting bedding or wetting the top corrugated cardboard or brown paper or newspaper, whatever I have on the surface of the bin, whenever I'm spraying, and quite frankly, even spraying my seedlings, you know, I do this about one treatment every 2 weeks, and it really keeps the numbers down. Now, the deal is that the fungus gnats lay their eggs on the surface. So if you go into your worm bins and you stir up your worm bin before you do a treatment, then the eggs have already been mixed in there, and when you do the surface treatment with the newspaper or spray the surface even of the bin, you're gonna miss a lot of the eggs. You've already jumbled them into all of the bedding. So it's a good idea to do this before you touch your bedding. Obviously your seedling trays, you're not stirring them up, so if you do a light mist of this, that gets any fungus gnats that lay on the surface of your seedling trays. So what I do is, these are like granules, like I said, and you know, I just read the instructions, and you know, the only thing that is hard and fast for me is that you wait 30 minutes. So I take just a scoop. It's probably about a tablespoon and a half. Now, I am a tea drinker. There's my addiction. And so I have these little tea filter things. They're individual tea bags. Sometimes tea shops will give you this and use loose tea and hang the tea bag on the side of the cup. That's what they're designed to do. But I now use these reusable tea strainers that I put the loose tea in there, and I just put this over my mug, and the hot tea comes out the bottom. So I don't need these anymore. So I have a box of 100 of them. And so about every 2 weeks, I take one of these tea bags and I open it up. And now you could probably use any fine mesh material like a cheesecloth, or if you've got an old cotton bed sheet that you can cut up, you could probably use something like that. And again, it's just like making tea. I put my granules of Mosquito Bits into the tea bag. Now and I fold it over several times just to make it smaller, because it's got to go in my pump sprayer, right? So I want it to be like this tube. And then this is the only non-recyclable thing I do, which is put a staple in it. I'm trying to think of a way, I guess I could tie it with a piece of cotton string, because when I'm finished with this little tea bag, when this pump sprayer is empty with this liquid with water, which usually takes about 10 days or so before I'm finished with that container of water, I throw this in my worm bins, and they decompose these bits and the tea bag, but obviously the staple goes into my worm bin. So I think I've talked myself into, I think the next time I'm going to use cotton string. All right, so this is my pump sprayer. So this, you know, needs obviously to be a cylinder so that it fits in the mouth of whatever container you're using. Now, if you want to use just your watering can, you could do that, but for worm bins, a watering can isn't really as useful. So this is the pump type sprayer. So what I do is hopefully I can do this without spilling all over. I usually do this in the sink. So I add the water. Now it says on the instructions, let it sit for 30 minutes. But like I said, it takes me a week or more to use up all this water. So I just leave it in there and it continues to control the mosquito bits. Those granules are going to swell up a little bit. And so, you know, the tea bag is usually enough to contain them. But I find sometimes that the tea bag will break open before the week to 10 days is up, and that's okay. I just emptied the tea bag and a few loose granules into my Eat My Shorts bin. It'll take care of it. So that's one thing you might see, but it's no harm. Obviously wash your hands after handling this. That's on the instructions as well. So there you go. So that's 30 minutes. Now it's just got to sit, and then any bin that I feel is getting a fungus gnat problem or as a preventative, before I fluff it, I will lightly spray, and then all of those eggs have got the BTI mixture sprayed on them, and those fungus gnats will not hatch. So that is, I think, pivotal, is that you don't fluff before you spray. Don't fluff before you treat, otherwise you're stirring up the larvae. So that was quick, really quick. Allows me some time to enjoy a cup of tea. Take care, everyone.